Huffington Post decided to ask potential 2020 Democratic contenders about Trump's announcement to withdraw troops from Syria and Afghanistan. I'm going to go through the answers here with you. Now, before we dive into it, let's be clear about something. We actually don't know yet if what Trump tweeted is what's actually going to happen, and there's reason to believe that it's not. So, what I mean by that is, take Afghanistan. He's not actually withdrawing. He's just drawing down troops, cutting the troops in half. There were 14,000 U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan, and he's cutting that all the way down to 7,000. So, Bush did that at times. Obama did that at times. I mean, does he deserve credit? I guess a little bit, because you're drawing down, and that's positive, but I would actually give you credit if you just got out, not just reduce troop levels. So that's Afghanistan. Now, in the case of Syria, at first he said we're going to get out, and we're going to get out within a month. Then a few days later, stories came out where Trump and Bolton said, well, I didn't say we'd get out quickly, even though we did, because he said within a month. But he changed that to, I didn't say we're going to get out quickly. And then now I think we're going to leave some troops in there. So again, it's like, are we really getting out? And then on top of that, there's Blackwater ads everywhere now that say we are coming. And the idea is, even if he pulls out in some of these places, that he might send in private troops. So, which is honestly even worse than if you just left the U.S. troops there, because they're even more unaccountable. The private mercenary army run by a fucking fundamentalist Christian maniac, Eric Prince. So anyway, I digress from that aspect of the conversation. What these 2020 contenders were asked is, do you agree with withdrawing troops from Syria and Afghanistan? So here are the answers. First, let's go to Bernie Sanders. Bernie said the following. U.S. troops should be withdrawn from Syria and Afghanistan, but in a planned and coordinated way. This must be combined with a serious diplomatic and political strategy which helps deliver desperately needed humanitarian aid. So is that a good answer? Yeah, it's an okay answer. What I would much prefer is, and you're about to find out that none of the candidates did this, is you go after Trump from the left. So the way you do that is to say what I just said. He's only cutting the troop levels in half in Afghanistan. He needs to go further. I'm not going to give him credit for a half step. He needs to go further. He needs to actually get out. That's what you say on Afghanistan. In terms of Syria, I say, first he said it was a month, then now he's saying I didn't say I was going to get out quickly. No, you should get out quickly. You should get out quickly, and if you even consider privatizing these wars, well, then we're going to raise hell, because that's insane. So that's, I think, the best answer, but look at what Bernie's saying. I agree they should be withdrawn from Syria and Afghanistan, but it needs to be in a planned and coordinated way. Okay, that's a little bit of weasel words in my opinion. I mean, I love Bernie, but that seems a lot like concern trolling and nuance trolling, just to try to burn Trump. But there is a way to actually go after Trump for this and still stick true to anti-interventionist, non-interventionist principles, and that's to say what I said about he's not really withdrawing completely. Now let's go to Cory Booker. Oh boy. Quote, Trump's immediate and unplanned withdrawal of troops from Syria is reckless and dangerous. Unfortunately, the withdrawal is part of Trump's larger, chaotic, and directionless foreign policy approach to Syria that includes freezing and ultimately withdrawing much-needed stabilization funding. Cory Booker, he's likely to run. If he jumps in the race, he's going to get obliterated, and it's going to be hilarious to see. He was just giving a speech the other day at a charter school. He's giving a speech at a charter school. At the same time, there's a teacher strike from the union in L.A. You want to talk about out of touch with the political times? Why not go give a speech at a fucking, at a pharma company, you piece of shit? What a dumbass. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Trump bad. He's so bad. He wants to get out of these countries? Well, I think we should stay in. Immediate and unplanned withdrawal is reckless and dangerous. It's not reckless and dangerous that we went there in the first place illegally, unconstitutionally. It's dangerous and reckless that we're withdrawing. Fuck you. Jesus Christ, I hate him. Sherrod Brown says, quote, I support an organized withdrawal of U.S. troops from Syria and Afghanistan that is coordinated with our allies and well planned with the input of both the State Department and the Department of Defense. Okay, so that's similar to Bernie in his answer. Anybody who, the gist of what they say is, yeah, let's get out, they get a full pass in my mind. Again, not ideal, their answers, but you have to say, I agree in principle with getting out. Amy Klobuchar, or as I call her, Amy Cloudboot Jar, said, I just don't think you pull out suddenly and do this to your allies. What about the allies? And especially to the Kurds who we trained to fight for us and who are going to be sitting ducks there. There's got to be a better way to do this. I told you that everybody's going to gaslight you using the Kurds as a proxy for that. And that's what they're doing. That's what Amy Klobuchar did. Me? Oh, I would be in favor of getting out. What about the Kurds? What about the Kurds? Yeah, but you could use that argument now. You could use that argument in 5 years. You could use that argument in 37 years. Like, oh, but the Kurds are going to be sitting ducks if we leave. Okay. But then what's your plan to get out? You got to have a plan to get out. And actually, to be fair to Trump, I was talking about on this show how he needs to put economic pressure and tell Erdogan, hey, if you do anything to the Kurds, there are going to be consequences. And that's actually exactly what he did. He actually said to Erdogan, there's going to be economic consequences if you touch the Kurds. So that's actually the right thing to do. But now they're gaslighting us. Now, you ready for this? Here's who said nothing. They were asked directly by Huffington Post. What do you think of withdrawing from Syria and Afghanistan? You ready? Senator Kamala Harris, nothing. John Delaney, who the fuck is that? Nothing. Kirsten Gillibrand, nothing. Joe Biden, nothing. Julian Castro, nothing. Beto O'Rourke, nothing. Okay, I don't want to be too harsh here, but I'm going to go ahead and say it because I actually believe this. Here's who I'm ruling out for 2020 in terms of voting for. Kamala Harris, gone. John Delaney, gone. Kirsten Gillibrand, gone. Joe Biden, gone. Julian Castro, Beto O'Rourke, gone. They're all gone. No interest in them. You don't have the political wherewithal to, at the very least, pay lip service to the idea of, yeah, we kind of do have to get out of these places. You're that far up your own ass and that far mired in anti-Trumpism that you can't see a substantive issue like this when it smacks you in the face? Because that is what this shows, for the record. What this shows, that they're unwilling to say anything on the record about these issues. What that means is these politically calculating, conniving, sniveling little weasels sat around with their staff and they said, okay, guys, what's the best political answer to this question? And the idiot staffers who don't know anything said, well, Trump says he wants to withdraw from these places, and you don't want to be seen agreeing with Trump on anything, so don't say anything in response. This is nothing but playing politics. Now, again, even though I have disagreements with the way Bernie laid it out by nuanced trolling and concerned trolling, oh, the coordinated way, and it must be done, serious diplomatic strategy, blah, 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 blah. I get it. The answer is, let's get the fuck out. Okay? At least he threw that in there, like, okay, we need to withdraw. Yes, ultimately we have to withdraw from these places. Cory Booker is the worst. Amy Klobuchar is the worst because they're like, no, I don't want to get out. Okay, well, you're also dismissed. But it's so weaselly to not answer the question because the real reason is they don't want to be viewed as in any way, shape, or form agreeing with Trump. That's political hackdom is what that is. And I fucking hate it with a burning passion. So much, man. I mean, that is... So the people who deserve a little bit of credit, Bernie, Sherrod Brown. Yeah, Bernie and Sherrod Brown on this list. I guess they didn't ask Ojeda because they're... whoever wrote this article's relatively snobby, but they should have asked Ojeda as well, and I'm curious what he would have said. They should have asked Andrew Yang as well. But yeah, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating that the anti-Trumpism, Trump derangement syndrome leads people nominally on the left to be like, I think staying in Syria and Afghanistan is the way to go, or they just don't mention it. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, and it shows that so many people are not issues-oriented.